whether or not there are going to be regulations or an amendment to these regulations in respect of what appears to be quite a significant issue. As I said at the outset, there are certain rights that individuals acquire on day one from the 1st of October. And it's essentially this: if you are the end user or the hirer in this case, you must ensure that all your agency workers can access your collective facilities and amenities, and that the agency worker has access to information about its job vacancies from the first day of their assignment. What does that mean essentially? Well, it means this: if you don't provide access to facilities, then potentially litigation can arise. You've given the agency worker the right to say, actually, I'm being treated less favourably. Now, what it says is that in Regulation 12 is from the 1st of October, from the start of the worker's assignment, an agency worker has the right to be treated no less favourably. Now, in a lot of literature out there about these regulations, it is perceived that this is anti-discrimination legislation. I mean, obviously, the difficulty in any situation is like this. You have the employer versus the or the worker, and what the law or what the regulations were trying to do was actually to say we have to try and put agency workers on an equal footing. So it does use the phrase no less favourable treatment in the same way that discrimination law in relation to race, sex, disability is used. So, but the other element of this is that there's got to be a comparable employee or worker in the hirer's establishment in relation to the rights that they say that they're entitled to. So there are some aspects of these regulations whereby if you have, for instance, an individual in a standalone role and you have no other person doing a comparable job, then you do not have to, you don't have to give them access to collective facilities. So the only way that this right arises is if you've got two people doing the same job, and essentially your agency worker, in that case, then the agency worker does avail themselves of it, or should be able to avail themselves of those collective facilities.